everyone, welcome to Google Partners Elevenses. Today episode is on smart display. My name is Izzy, I'm an account strategist on our UK agency team and I'm also a display expert here at Google.
And I'm Finn, Agency Development Manager on the UK Agency Programme and also a resident display expert.
Brilliant. So why are we talking to you about smart display today? Well, as we know, consumer behaviour is dramatically different today compared to even 2 years ago. So we're more curious, more impatient and demanding than ever before because we are that much more connected. So some examples of this kind of mindset are these stats that you can see here. We have seen same day shipping searches double in the last 2 years, and we've also seen a 150% increase in travel searches for today and tonight. And open now searches have tripled. So as you can see, we know what we want and we know when and where we want it. So we expect brands and companies to keep up with us. All these fragmented moments of intent when it comes to marketing generate too much data for humans to process. So we use machine learning to overcome this. Now, what is machine learning? In a nutshell, it's an approach to making decisions. It involves algorithmically finding patterns in data and then using information to react to the brand new data that it receives. So at Google, we actually analyse 70 million signals in the blink of an eye. Smart display then leverages this machine learning in 3 key areas. So smart creatives, smart bidding and smart audiences. We'll cover each of these areas in detail today. And because it leverages so much of our machine learning technology, smart display campaigns drive on average 20% more conversions at the same CPA for our advertisers when compared to their other display campaigns. So now, where should smart display fit in your overall display strategy? So it should be your catch-all, your always-on conversion driver for display. So first of all, you start with you setting up your conversion tracking and collecting your remarketing list if that's applicable. And then your catch-all beginner place is smart display. You can then move on to adding standalone display campaigns where you've got like a specific audience that you want to reach with a specific message, or you've got a seasonal or promotional campaign. Please bear in mind that if you do set up those campaigns, you do need to add the elements of responsive display ads and smart bidding there as well to ensure it's driving performance. But let's dig in a little bit into the specifics of smart display itself and understand how each of these 3 pillars work together, starting with smart bidding. So smart display employs smart bidding algorithms to set the right bid for every user in every single auction, and it relies on Google Brain to power those algorithms. So we have unmatched scale with these algorithms. Smart bidding is part of an extensive Google display ecosystem, meaning we learn faster and innovate quicker, and we also learn not only from display ads, but also from search, YouTube and shopping ads. And finally, Google Smart Bidding includes signals that are unique to Google's dataset, including cross-device users, hyperlocal geosignals, user interests, contextual signals, in-market data, and demographic information. Why does all that matter with bidding? So with manual bidding, every auction is seen equal in value. So some conversions are missed due to a really low bid, while other auctions aren't worthwhile taking part in the first place because they're not actually likely to convert. However, we're bidding the same to get into every one of these auctions. With smart bidding, we evaluate the likelihood of a conversion in every single auction based on the historical conversions of the website and real-time signals we've mentioned already. So it tailors our bid to match the potential of that auction. So that was smart bidding. Now how about smart audiences? So smart display allows you to find the right audience built bespoke for your business with automated targeting. So smart display looks at your site content and then makes a prediction on who's going to convert. And it utilises a combination of every mid to lower funnel targeting type that we have at Google, but then it actually tailors that to your website users and to your prospective customers. So rather than being scattergun, it's bespoke. And finally, machine learning is integrated into the smart creatives. So creatives can be forgotten about but they are important to performance. So this is briefly how they work. We start off with building blocks and then we end up with a combination of assets. But Finn's going to take us through them in more detail.
Great, so now smart creatives. One of the most essential parts of campaign performance. These days we're incredibly short of attention. Our attention span's very, very short-lived, and we don't even realise sometimes, I think, how important ad quality is in winning our attention. And in fact, over 75% of ad impact is determined by creative quality. So I think the best way to start thinking about this is with an example. So these are 3 very different customers, and they're looking for a hotel. So Diana is booking a retreat for her company. She needs amenities like free Wi-Fi, conference rooms and group discounts. And just note the keyword, best hotel in San Francisco. Charlie is booking a family vacation and wants a swimming pool, spa amenities and a children's centre. And he's also searched best hotel in San Francisco. Meanwhile, we have Sally, who's booking a couples retreat and would really love a central location with restaurants and bars nearby, and she has also searched the same search query. And the tricky bit, we have one account manager trying to reach them all with ads that speak to their intent, and it's very, very difficult when they've all put in the same keyword, but the underlying intention behind that search is entirely different for each individual. Smart Creatives helps deliver the right message to the right user. So for people like Diana, Charlie and Sally, they should each be getting a message that speaks to their intent rather than just the query they've put in. And as Izzy has already explained, we have an enormous amount of data spanning a vast network of properties from which to draw better signals, and that allows us to understand your customer's needs. So when your customer visits a site, for example, they become scored for their level of intent and can become in market for a product or service. So when we think of Diana, we know that she's in the process of booking a company retreat. And machine learning then does the rest. It customizes the ad based on her long-term interests and preferences, some of which are listed here, and pulling on the various assets which you will have already given the system. And the magic part is our system is doing this constantly in real time for every user, for every impression. And that's something that's impossible for an account manager to do manually. It really is quite incredible. So now Rebecca can work faster and smarter and win more. And the thinking behind this is to free up an account manager's time to think more strategically about the business KPIs rather than spending too much time on operations.
So the actual creative format in smart display campaigns is responsive display ads. So with this format you provide a number of different assets. So 5 headlines, 5 descriptions, 5 images, a long headline, a logo and a business name. Very simple inputs. If you don't have a lot of images that are suitable, don't worry, we have a huge portfolio of licensed stock images ready to go in the Ad Creator tool, and you can also scan your website and social profile straight from that ad creation interface. So there's no need to spend a huge amount of time, effort or money getting images that are suitable to run in your campaigns. So once the assets are put in to the campaign, our machine learning then tests the combination. It renders different combinations depending on the factors in each auction to serve the right message to the right user at the right time. And the result of that is to deliver customized ads across the display network that drive a higher conversion uplift. So the responsive display ad format delivers 50% more conversions than just using standard image ads alone. There's a new feature as well in responsive display ads, which is the ability to include video in the format. So how this works is that if a video will perform better for certain users than a static image, the video will serve in that auction instead, and so capture the user's attention better and provide additional reach for that user. So how do then we assess performance and continue to build great ads? We have 2 tools to help. So the first you can see here is the ad strength indicator during the ad creation process. So it will give you a score to show you whether you're adhering to best practice and you've got all the correct elements included. So remember the 75% figure that Finn mentioned. 75% of an ad's impact is determined by the creative quality. This step is incredibly important to making sure you're set up as best you can be. And then you can understand how each asset is performing with the asset report, where you can see which are your best performers, which are just good, and then which are below average. So you can then swap out the poor performing assets for something new to keep optimizing performance without needing to redesign the whole ad each time.
So to recap, we have 3 key takeaways. Smart display campaigns drive 20% more conversions for the same CPA because they use those 3 core areas of machine learning that manual campaigns simply can't make use of. Most important thing to remember, make sure your creative quality is as good as you can get it. Smart display campaigns should be your go-to for starting a display strategy or improving a current display strategy. Manual campaigns are great for promo or seasonal events where you have a very specific audience for a very specific message, but for everything else, there's smart display. That concludes this episode of Elevenses. Thank you for watching, and please do tune in to our next episode.